Hi guys, my name is Ntokozo Nomasikomsomi. I am a language practitioner and a Zulu science podcaster. So you might say I gravitate towards simplifying things in people's language of thought or language of dreams. And the preferred language for me to simplify things into is isiZulu, right? So there are a few things I'd like us to talk about and I'd like you to engage. And when I'm clarifying, I'll clarify in isiZulu, but I'll be repeating things that I've said already in English. So there's no need to ask for subtitles or please interpret what you said in the Zulu part, because usually my brain works like that. I think because I'm usually translating, transcribing, or interpreting. So I'd say something in English and say it in Zulu. It's in my head, it makes sense what I'm saying, but I know it doesn't make sense. So I'd say something in English, ngiyiphinde futhi ngisiZulu, and repeat it in Zulu. But I want to have this conversation because I've heard a lot of women talk about how they took emergency contraception and it didn't work. Or, mina, ingane yami izophuma iphethe kanje. Like that, they usually joke about how when they give birth, the child will have the morning afters in their hands like this, and talking about how morning after pills or emergency contraception doesn't work. And I've noticed ukuthi abantu abaningi don't understand how contraception and emergency contraception works, right? And lucky for me, because ngiyathanda ukuchazela abantu izinto ngolimi abazoliqonda. I really, really like explaining things, simplifying them in ways that people can understand them better. So I did some research trying to find out this phenomenon, besides that rare percentage that is always disclosed in studies, that it's not 100%, 99.8, 98 point whatever percent, right? But what causes people to think emergency contraception doesn't work? So I checked some videos, I read up, and my favorite women's health gynecology obstetrician person is Mama Dr. Jones. I'll link her up here. Look at me. I'll link her up here. But she made it so clear for me. I'll try to insert images to make this make sense. So how does one fall pregnant, right? After 14 days of the beginning of your period, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 days, usually it is assumed that around those days you will ovulate, right? Around 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 is your most fertile time. So, into eyenziwa ama morning after or emergency contraception. When you take an emergency contraception or morning after pill, you delay that process from happening. So you have uterus, ovaries, right? And then ovulation happens and then an egg goes, fallopian tubes going towards the uterus. But before that happens, when you take the emergency contraception tells the egg, wait, don't come out yet. And then the egg stalls, and then whatever sperm had entered the vicinity usually then dies before the egg is released again. But not 100%, because sperm can live up to 5-7 days in your uteral area and fallopian tubes. Okay. So what happens then when it doesn't work? So in instances where it works is you took the pill before ovulation, so ovulation was delayed. So morning after, and then you still fall pregnant. So when you take the morning after pill and you still fall pregnant, Mama Dr. Jones says, once the ovulation process has started, the pill can't reverse it because it's a hormonal, it's a machine, man. It's a symbiosis. It works like this. So once the egg has been released, the medication cannot reverse that process and take the egg back so that it doesn't get fertilized. So once the egg is out and it's there lingering in the fallopian tube, the sperm swims up and meets the egg and you fall pregnant, whether you take the pill or not. So a lot of people assume that the emergency contraception causes abortion, basically. So it terminates a fertilization that had already happened. But no, it delays a fertilization from happening. Don't know if I'm making sense. Uma iqanda lingakaphumi, uwaphuza amaphilisi. Amaphilisi azosebenza ngokuthi iqanda lingaphumi uze kuphele amasosha lawa agijimayo, ama-sperms, aze afe onke. Ngesikhathi liphuma iqanda, seku-safe, ayisekho into ezongena eqandeni kwenzeke ingane. Kodwa uma kuwukuthi iqanda bese liphumile, amaphilisi awanawo amandla okulibuyisela emumva iqanda ngoba seliphumile. So uzothi uphuza iphilisi kanti vele iqanda selingaphandle. Uma kungena ama-sperms, ingane izokhandeka ngoba i-emergency contraception ayona i-abortion pill. It does not stop pregnancy. It prevents pregnancy. So not that you're already pregnant. Fertilization has happened and then you take the morning after pill and then it kills or dissolves that pregnancy. No, it doesn't work like that. It works in delaying the process of releasing the egg. I'm trying to be as clear as possible, right? There's an accident. You're driving on the highway, right? Someone calls you and says you forgot your purse. You turn around. So the someone calling you is the pill, right? So this is the egg. It wants to come out. And then someone says, no, don't go into the highway yet. And then so you go back into the house, basically, right? You are not in the highway yet. You go back into the house, you get delayed, and an accident happens. You're still not on the highway. I made an example of what you're not. You're still driving out of the yard. You're not on the highway. So the accident happens and affects everyone that's there. And because you are not there, you are not affected in any way. However, if you have left and the accident happens, and then the person calls you to come back home, whether they called you or not, it doesn't reverse the fact that you're already in an accident. Right. So, morning after pills work in delaying the ovulation process so that the sperm doesn't find an egg in the fallopian tube to fertilize. Right. It doesn't dissolve an existing pregnancy. It doesn't cause an abortion. It's a totally different pill that does that. It's a totally different pill, totally different mechanical makeup or chemical makeup. Sorry, not mechanical. Chemical makeup of pills. So also thinking you can take 5 morning after pills because you want to force an abortion. It doesn't work like that. It may affect your ovulation and things like that, but it doesn't really cause an abortion. So morning after pills should be used correctly. And I really hope people can start reading the insert, the pamphlet inside that explains how it works. That way you are more aware. So if you know you are around the 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days after a period had started, let you know taking the pill might be not a wise decision, right? But if it's before that, you can take the pill to delay. That means your ovulation might come a week later. And sometimes that might make your periods come early or make your periods come late. Yeah, that's it. So do morning after pills work? Yes, if taken correctly and you consider your ovulation and you understand your cycle better. But there are ways, man. There are ways. Let's try to not rush for the emergency contraception and take proper precautions that will not make us rush to the emergency contraception aisle or to the pharmacist to give us the emergency contraception. Okay, I hope I was clear. ngizamile ukuchaza ngesiZulu. Uma kuwukuthi khona la kungazwakalanga khona kahle, at any point you don't understand what I said, I will, however, link Mama Dr. Jones's video that speaks about emergency contraception so that you can hear from the horse's mouth where I did my research, where I got my info. All right. I'm against misinformation, man. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This is my first video. I really hope this is the first of many. I'd like to talk about women's reproductive health. I'd like to talk about current affairs, trending topics, whatever it is that's happening or whatever it is that makes sense to me at that time. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And please do click subscribe. Listen to me, my first video. Please do subscribe, share, and let's get the conversation going. You'll find me on Facebook as Ndogozo Noma Sigomsomi, or on Twitter as @NomaCulture. Love you so much, Kenny. You are the sweethearts of the world. Bye.